everybody, happy Tuesday. Okay, so yesterday in our mini lesson we focused on the parts of an argument. So we had our summary, we had our claim, our summary, our evidence and reasoning. Now we're coming down here to slide 12, and today we're going to look at persuasive strategies. So you're going to watch the video that will be here shortly, and then you are going to use the resources that we give you, and you are going to make changes to your rough draft. So you can click here and it'll take you to the slide where your draft is, but first we're going to click up here and go to our mini lesson. Okay, I don't know why it starts at the bottom. There we go. So Tuesday, your goal today: I can add persuasive strategies, ethos, pathos, logos, rhetorical questions to my own writing. So let's remind ourselves of what these persuasive strategies are. Persuasive strategies, elements added to writing in order to convince the audience to believe a certain point of view. So these are ethos, pathos, logos, and we are not going to discuss rhetorical questions today. Okay, so ethos. Ethos is credibility and trust. So you're going to convince the reader that you're honest and you're intelligent, so they trust and believe you. So it's like expert testimony. So Taylor Swift. We believe that Taylor Swift is generally a good person. We love her music. So she says, hey, Diet Coke is delicious. We're going to drink Diet Coke. Maybe for some people, it might not work for some of you, and that's okay. Colgate, sensitive pro relief. So it says 9 out of 10 dentists. We trust dentists when it comes to teeth, right? Because that's their profession. They're doctors of taking care of your teeth, essentially. So if 9 out of 10 dentists who use this would recommend it, we're going to be like, okay, that's pretty good. Like, I trust those guys. So I'm going to try this toothpaste. So expert testimony is the main thing you're looking for here for ethos. Then we move on to pathos. This focuses on emotion to make the audience feel something about what is presented to it. So you want your audience to feel either affection for a character, or maybe you want the audience to hurt or to feel, not necessarily feel bad, but maybe get motivated by seeing something. We see this picture of somebody with a prosthetic leg, and it says spare parts for humans are not as original as those for cars. Don't drink and drive. So this, you want to understand that if somebody drinks and drives and gets in an accident, you're going to change somebody's life forever. So you feel the weight of that poor decision whenever you see this person with a prosthetic leg, that they don't get to use their leg like normal. They're very limited now. And then we look at this one over here that's talking about NutriPet dog food, because your dog is part of your family. Yeah, I love my puppers at home, so of course I want to feed them really good dog food. So it makes me feel the emotions that I feel, like the happiness I feel when I think of my dogs, right? So pathos focuses on emotion. Then we have logos, which is logic or proof. So you're using logic, numbers, facts, and data to support your argument. So for like a butterfly sting like a bee, that's just a catchy phrase to get your attention. You come over here, it says half the calories, all the G. So pretty much like you're getting fewer calories, but it still tastes like Gatorade. And we have Verizon Wireless with this map, 5 times more 3G coverage. Obviously this is old because 5G is all everybody talks about now, but this map is mostly covered in red, which indicates that these are all the places that Verizon gets service. That's a big deal, okay? So they're using this logic, like, ooh, Verizon's covering most of the country, probably a good phone company to go with. So refresher, ethos, credibility, you want expert testimony, somebody you trust. Pathos focuses on emotions, making you feel a certain way. And logos focuses on logic and proof. So let's look at some examples in the same movie review that we used yesterday. Despicable Me. So for rhetorical question, no, we didn't discuss it, but if you're interested in using it, most animated family movies use the same plot elements. The main characters have to overcome obstacles in pursuit of their goal or solving their problems. Most often, there's also a main bad guy to defeat. And here's our rhetorical question. But what if the antagonist was the main character? This question is meant to make you think. It's not meant to be answered. So just be like, oh, what if our antagonist was the main character? And then it goes on to explain that that's the case in Despicable Me. So then we have logos. Remember, logos is logic. It's a fact. Rated certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes with 82% rating. So this came from the Rotten Tomatoes movie critic website. And they got an 82%, which is pretty high for Rotten Tomatoes. So that means it's a good movie. That's some logic we can use. Chances are, if Rotten Tomatoes likes it, we probably will like it. We have Ethos. So, loving father. So, Gru in this film, it tells the story of a bad guy's gradual transformation to a loving father. Gru, voiced by Steve Carell. Now, for Ethos, it's credibility and trust. Steve Carell's funny. We know this. We've seen him in a variety of acting situations. He's pretty funny. So whenever we say somebody's voiced by Steve Carell, that we trust him. We trust that he's going to put out a good product. He's a great actor. And so then it proceeds to explain our summary about the movie. And then down here we see an example of pathos. Give him a family he didn't even know he needed. So whenever we talk about family and needing family, that makes us feel something. And it could make all of us feel something different. For me, I know I need my family, that I would struggle if I didn't have them a lot. And so some people might be like, whatever, family, ugh. But most of us, it makes us feel kind of like warm and fuzzy inside. Like, yeah, they annoy me sometimes, but I do love my family. So there are examples. Rhetorical question. If you're interested in trying that, you're welcome to. Logos, logic, ethos, credibility, like expert testimony, and pathos, which is, oh my gosh, emotion. So, we want examples of these in your writing. So what you're going to do is you're going to go into your movie review draft. It's either slide 9 or slide 3. And you're going to bold 2 examples of persuasive strategies. If you do not have these elements, be sure to add them. You can use logos as well, but I'd like for you to focus on ethos and pathos. I think it's easiest for us to incorporate the credibility and trust of somebody, and then also the emotion. But absolutely feel free to go get those facts, like the Rotten Tomato facts, if you want to get statistics like that about the movie, maybe how much money the movie brought into the box office. That's a good one. Take those into consideration and do those as well. Okay. So let's go back into our example and leave open the Tuesday mini lesson because we're going to have to reference this. Go back into our slides, and we're going to come on up here to our rough draft. Remember, you can click on this link and it'll take you straight to your rough draft. So we're looking at our rough draft, and we want to find examples of ethos and pathos. Let's focus on ethos first. Credibility and trust, and we're going to bold them. Okay. So I have my claim, I have my summary. I'm going to come down here. So, comedic stars such as Billy Crystal and Rob Reiner. When I'm referencing these stars who have been in a lot of comedies, that is going to be my credible expert testimony, okay? These guys have been in a lot of movies, so I'm going to bold them. And then, what's our other one? We need to look at pathos. And pathos is emotional. So let's see if I can find an emotional one. Oh, and I have another one. Oh, I think I have some ethos in here as well, so I'm going to highlight that. Right, no, hold on. Let me make sure. Yeah. No. I have logic, sorry. So, logos here, because I looked up, if you remember in our videos from last week, I looked up this guy's track record, William Goldman, and he won some Oscars and stuff, so that's a fact that makes him credible. So, I used logos there, I used ethos here, and let's see pathos. Where can I find some pathos? I wonder if I can find some up here. They want to find each other, even after. So he may have won the castle. No, I don't see any pathos there. Let's see, emotion. So I'm not finding much emotion in my example, so I'm going to have to figure out how to add it in here now. The Princess Bride takes an ordinary hero's tale. Writing style. In conclusion, The Princess Bride is an outstanding movie. struggling with the pathos. So notice how I'm taking time to think about this. It's okay to do that. Let's see if I can modify one of my sentences up here. Wesley, who had been living as a pirate, decides to break into the castle to save his one true love. Decides to risk everything by breaking into the castle. So when we read this, it makes us feel something. You think, oh man, wow, that's an intense love. He is willing to risk his life to go in. Maybe I'll say his life. To go in and save the one woman he's always ever loved, despite having spent years apart from her. So that makes us feel something. That's our pathos. Okay, so you see how I had to add that into my writing? If you don't have two of these three, oh my gosh, I'm losing my train of thought, persuasive strategies, you need to make sure you're typing it into your rough draft and you're adding it and you're bolding it, okay? This is part of your major grade, okay? So, like it says, right down here, number 3, part of your final grade will be whether or not you included these revisions. You need to make sure that they're in there. Skipping this step is not allowed. Okay, so make sure you use your resources, ask if you have any questions, and have a great Tuesday.